Um, I understand thank you. I understand we're going to be missing 2 commissioners today, but we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to start with number 1, Feather Sound Community Service District Budget Update.
Alrighty. Hello and good morning. I'd like to thank the board for the opportunity to be here today. My name is Kevin Chambers, and I'm currently serving my 6th term as treasurer for the Feather Sound Community Services District. Today, I'll briefly get into our district's background, some updates and accomplishments, and our budget request for fiscal year 25. I should note, given our scope, I don't have a deck to share today. We're in the midst of a lot of things, and so there wasn't anything super important that you needed to see. The Feather Sound Community Services District is a special taxing district created by a vote of the residents of Feather Sound. It was established to provide street lighting and to maintain, develop, acquire, and improve the green spaces and recreational areas in our community. Our board is made up of 7 appointed and volunteer residents of the Feather Sound community, and we meet regularly to discuss finances, community improvement projects, and to hear any community member comments and concerns. Since last year, we've welcomed 2 new members to our board as a result of vacancies, and we're excited to see the value they bring to the board. Within our green space purview is the Earl Mays Rec area, which includes a basketball court, a soccer field, a playground, a boardwalk, some shelters with tables, and a dog park. Everything's very popular and widely used. Saturday mornings are a great spot to see all the families with kids at the playground, having little play dates and things there. So it's great to see our community members enjoying those amenities. Some recent and more notable changes and accomplishments include re-landscaping and beautifying our roadway medians. Our past green space contractor kind of let them fall into a little bit of a subpar spot there, and so we spent a good deal of budget there to bring them back up to looking nice for the community. We created a more informative and user-friendly website. Makes us, a little more established as a board. We put our meeting minutes on there, upcoming meetings, so people can become aware. We have information about board members and links to things around the county and things like that people find useful. As I mentioned, we onboarded 2 new board members. Looking ahead, our next notable undertaking is to hopefully have the installation of some pickleball courts in the Earl Mays area. Our current plan includes 2 courts and still allows for the basketball court and soccer field to remain intact as is. We didn't want to take away from what's already being there and utilized, so we're building around that area. We're currently in the survey and design stages and look forward to being able to start site prep as soon as reasonably actionable. Our budget request for fiscal year 25 includes an increase from prior year, but with no millage rate change. The increase will allow us to cover increased maintenance and utility costs, and also the costs associated with the pickleball courts. Our increased request trends directionally with the projected property tax revenues, while still staying below the overall tax revenue amount. That is to say, we're not requesting more than what the property tax revenues are projected to bring in. The increase in tax revenues also allows the county's fund reserve to have a bit of an increase this year, even with the higher payment to the Community Services District. That's really all I have to present today. I want to thank you again for your time. We're very appreciative of the support for the district, and we're excited about the year ahead.
Thank you so much. Does anyone have any questions? Questions? No? All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
We appreciate you coming out.
Have a great day.
You too. Thanks for all your work. Okay. Next up
Public Library.
is the Pinellas Library Cooperative.
Cheryl Morales. Here she comes.
Good morning, everyone. I am Walking into my 10th year as the Executive Director of PPLC. My name is Cheryl Morales, and I have never been happier. PPLC, or Pinellas Public Library Cooperative, was formed 35 years ago by the County Commission to unite all the individual municipal libraries throughout the county to provide services to unincorporated residents of Pinellas County. Prior to the formation of PPLC, a Clearwater City resident could have a Clearwater library card and only use the Clearwater Library. A Largo citizen could only use the Largo Library. Now there's one card, and anyone that has one of those cards can use it at any one of the 25 library outlets throughout the county. Recently, we moved from 24 outlets to 25 outlets by creating the Lealman Exchange Library Service Center, which is picking up speed as every week goes on through this new partnership that we've created. People in the Lealman area can go in to the Lealman Exchange and get their library cards that they can use at any one of the libraries, and have books and materials delivered to the Lealman Exchange where they can pick them up there, and then they can bring them back to Lealman Exchange and drop them off, and that goes back to the owning library. There is one online computer library system, which is administered by PPLC, that does help a great deal and connect all the libraries and give all the users a similar experience. The libraries share their information with each other through staff meetings, and they share the collections with each other through the courier system that we have. So PPLC connects communities. It also connects libraries. In front of you, you should have a copy of the annual report for fiscal year 2023. And I just wanted to point out a couple of brief things where you could see the trends that are happening. So we're talking about post-COVID recovery, and we feel that we're still recovering from COVID, where, you know, libraries were closed for several months, people stopped going to public places and doing public things. So we moved from a physical item and physical presence in public libraries to a virtual items and virtual presence. And now it's coming back to being physical instead of virtual. So that one section on the annual report for the Talking Book Library shows that we have, in addition to connecting all the public libraries, PPLC also provides services to all the blind and deaf residents in Pinellas County. So we have the Talking Book Library right down there on Cleveland Street, and our patronage grows every year, and the amount of items borrowed grows every year. The Deaf Literacy Center serves more and more people every day as people are coming from around the Tampa Bay area for this very unique service. And the Deaf Literacy Center is housed in the Safety Harbor Public Library, but the staff do sign language classes in most of the public libraries around the county. One thing that PPLC has been working on for the past 10 years is creating community partnerships with cultural organizations like museums. And this has been a very valuable part of keeping the libraries relevant, having them provide more services. People are very excited to be able to use all of our area museums for free by checking out a museum pass at their public library. So the visitors into libraries, if you look briefly at this number, has in FY22 was 2,219,000. FY23 went up to 2,440,000, and the borrower numbers has grown too. Today we are at close to 500,000 folks in Pinellas County with library cards. So, and then this one, it really shows the differences between COVID and post-COVID. The in-person programs went up in FY23 from 7,000 to 11,000, with their attendees going up from 151,000 to 262,000. And the virtual programs are actually going down, so from over 500 to just over 300, and then the attendees are going down as well. That just shows more of the trend of people coming back to in-person. So we want to thank you very much for your support in the past, in the present, and the future, and we're always here if you have any questions.
Any questions? Commissioner Justice?
Thank you, Madam Chair. How has the St. Pete Main Library closure affected the use in the surrounding libraries, or are the others picked up the slack kind of?
Yes, so St. Pete has a total of 7 public libraries. So yes, the other 6 libraries are picking up the slack. And the people are actually going even to Gulfport and Seminole to use the libraries there. But people are very excited about the planned reopening date about a year from now.
Okay, great. And what's the smallest library we have in Pinellas physically?
The smallest physical library we have is probably the East Lake Library, or is it St. Pete Beach? St. Pete Beach. They're kind of neck and neck, those two. Mhm.
Very good. Thank you for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the Palm Harbor Community Service District budget, and for the library, we have Matthew David, and for recreation is Erica Linford. Good to see you.
We have to sing happy birthday to Matthew. You knew
Well,
it.
happy birthday.
Good morning, commissioners. Thanks for having us. We're going to probably put your schedule behind now. We're not going to be as fast as Cheryl or Keith was or Kevin, so I'm just kidding. It's hard for me to believe that we've all shared over a decade together. I think this is my 14th presentation, and they never get easier for me because I could go on and on for days about what we're doing in North County. But the most important message I want to bring to the commission and to you, Mr. Burton, is how appreciative we are in North County to have the partnerships that we've developed over the last several years through your mentoring, through appointing us a liaison to help us navigate the waters as an unincorporated area. Without the partnerships, we couldn't do what we're doing in North County. Just the fact I can pick up a phone and call a department just for intellectual help, because I'm not as intellectual. No, to have some help on navigating. We had a termite issue last year, and I was able to find out who the county used. Those are things that are invaluable, and we can't budget for that. So I appreciate the culture you developed and helped us cultivate together. So one of the partnerships we shared was this past weekend. I believe Commissioner Justice witnessed over 7 departments represented at our Hurricane Expo. We only handed out about 600 sandbags, I think the county reported back to me, but for a first ever handout, I thought that was pretty impressive to have people show up to get them in May before we have to worry. But it was awesome to have the county so present at that expo. We had over 500 attendees. So we were super, that was our largest that we've had. The project manager for the new rec center that's being built up in North County has met with our liaison, myself, and the project managers met with the architect every other week, which is very helpful to have that information up and down, both directions, to me and to you guys. So we appreciate that and progress, and we're excited about it. Progress is actually hitting the paper, so we had a meeting this week, so we're excited to see some notes getting written down, and we're moving forward with that. Staff does outreach with the Feast organization in Palm Harbor. For those of you who may not know, that is the local food pantry that serves, unfortunately, thousands of people that are food insecure every month. And we helped with the Stamp Out Hunger event on Saturday after the Hurricane Expo. And we collected over 40,000 pounds of food. So that'll be gone in probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 weeks. It's ridiculous how quickly the food goes out the doors. We have partnered with the chamber and the library on several events like the parade and things like that. Emergency management contacted us last year to hand out, I'm just going on things that have shown our partnership to help the people that were impacted. I believe it was by Adalia, don't quote me on that, in Crystal Beach and Ozona area that were flooded. So staff and I jumped in the truck and handed out whatever emergency management needed us to hand out on your behalf. And we were very happy to do that. Although I don't know we were as happy when Mr. Burton called me at like noontime to open a step-down shelter, but we accomplished it together, and we were able to shelter some people in place there that didn't have a place to go back to. All that to say, we couldn't be more appreciative, again, of the partnerships. The MSTU grants that you guys have been gracious enough to approve for us. 30 years ago, when I started as a parent of soccer and baseball players, the bathrooms were lovely then and got lovelier as 30 years went by. We finally redid all of them, finished the last one this last fiscal year with the help of MSTU grants. So don't think that those are, they're small maybe to some, but they're very important to what we're doing in North County, very important. I won't say the C word, but our levels are finally back to 2019 levels in all of our areas of programming, which is super exciting. Inside and outside, we're seeing people showing back up, like Cheryl reported, at libraries to programming again, which is obviously a critical part of our budget because we do get ad valorem tax money, but we also self-raise in our department almost $900,000 a year to balance our budget. So without those people coming to programs, that doesn't occur. I know I put something on the calendar next week you guys can't attend because there's a commission meeting, but that's just the soft opening of our newest and greatest esports lounge. If you don't know, Hillsborough County has one, and I believe there's one in Seminole, I'm not sure, but there's nothing in North County. It's online gaming that I'm completely unfamiliar with, but people younger than I probably would know. And we're going to do a soft opening next week with some neighborhood and camp kids that have come and attended programming. And then we'll do a grand opening, and I promise to check your schedules a little bit better next month so you can be at the grand opening. It's really a cool concept, and albeit I don't participate in it, it's neat to watch those that are very excited about it. Our second highest self-earned revenue line after programming is facility rentals, and we are finally back to the pre-2020 levels, which is huge for us because between that and programming, that's how we survive. And knowing that we're going into a construction phase, hopefully, coming in the next year, we're going to lose some programming money, and being able to make that up in our facility rentals, again, balances our budget, which makes all of you happy. Please try and look at your fall calendars because we've got our annual huge events, our Halloween Carnival that now takes place at the Haunted Chapel downtown Palm Harbor, and our Touch-a-Truck and our tree lighting. If you've not been to those events, they're spectacular, and I'm happy to send those out now to your assistants so you can maybe get one of them on your calendar. Some financial reports that we're going to hopefully earmark some of our saved monies that we built like the pier with. We capitalized some out of our operating. We've got some more netting that needs to be improved at Putnam. That is original netting, so in Florida, 30 years is a pretty good return on investment. So we've got the whole west side to do, probably in the tune of $100,000 to $150,000 worth of netting and fencing. I'm proud to say that over my last 14 years in this position, we've been very careful with our spending and saving where we could save any penny, and that's where that, no pun intended, that's where that money is coming from, is capitalized from our operating budgets. Finally, in our ad valorem stream this year, we're expected to be flat. We're projected a little bit bump in our self-earned revenue, so we're anticipating about a $2.4 million budget this year, and that will only happen if we get your support to fund Parks and Recreation at the Quarter Mill and library services at a Quarter Mill. That's my official ask. Any questions?
Any questions? No, you always do such a great job.
Appreciate that. I try, but he's going to do a better job.
Okay, so Matthew, here you
Library, so I'm
go.
done, right?
And is it really your birthday today?
It is.
Well, a happy birthday from all of us.
Yeah, so it's my birthday, so come on now.
He's just saying that you take it easy on the new guy.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody. So yeah, I've not been here quite as long. It's been 7 months. Sometimes feels like 7 minutes, but you know, slowly learning all the amazing things that are happening here in Pinellas, especially in our area as well. And I thought about maybe I'd read the budget transmittal document word for word, but I suspect there's not enough coffee in the world that would keep you all awake. It'd turn into a bedtime story. So I won't do that. But I will say just quickly before I go through some of the highlights that I've been thoroughly sort of amazed and impressed and kind of delighted that of how engaged, vibrant community Palm Harbor is, and how invested the community is in the library. Just as an indicator, we have over 100 volunteers give their time, both teens and adults, And that's extraordinary and goes back all the way to our beginnings in 1978. We just celebrated 46 years. And also, it's nice not only within that one library, but to be part of something even larger, part of our FIXA with Erica, Lois, and Mark, and part of the cooperative with Cheryl and all the other libraries in the area. PPLC, FIXA, PHL, it's too many acronyms for one meeting, so I'll just move on. But it is nice having sort of this extended family of support to help me learn the job. Wanted to quickly share or reiterate our mission to be the definitive educational and cultural destination for all members of the Palm Harbor community. We're always aspiring to do that, and we can always try to get closer to that aspiration. I wanted to go over just a few highlights of our last fiscal year, fiscal year 2023. Big thank you to Pinellas County. We have a roof. There's no leaks anymore, and that's thanks to Pinellas County stepping in because we were fundraising, but it was going to be a while, and that I can't tell you how essential that has been in helping us be able to fund everything else. And then Erica talked about the MSTU funding. Last year, we were able to replace a lot of our flooring that badly needed it as well. And then we also, thanks to large donation, we were able to create an outdoor musical garden. So if there's any music savants on the commission, you're welcome to come by and provide a concert for the community. But that's been a wonderful outdoor feature, and I do want to continue to explore outdoor initiatives in the future, maybe in partnership with my fellow FIXA entities. And we also in the last fiscal year installed the library's first short story machine, a very unique touch point inside the library. It has little short stories that you can get on demand, both in English and in Spanish. And now we're mid-year in the current fiscal year. I want to share that we've applied for and secured E-rate funding for a dedicated fiber internet connection. That's going to be a 3-year contract and will be an 80% discount. We'll actually be paying less for better internet over the next few years and hope to continue that when we get closer to the time to try and renew. We also expanded our foundation board. The Palm Harbor Library, like many libraries, has a small foundation that needed kind of help to kind of get more operational. And so we worked with some experts to create a long-range plan and start to grow that board. And we're looking forward to that continued growth so that we can continue trying to tackle some of those big capital projects that are not able to be covered by MSTU. And then we also met one of our long-range plan objectives in the current year by creating a robotics program series for youth to learn both coding and collaboration. And I talked about volunteers a minute ago. That largely has been spearheaded by a teen volunteer who came to us with the idea. And of course, there's staff support, and our friends of the library stepped in with some funding. And that's been going very, very well, and the youth could not be more excited about that. We could not be more excited about that. Looking ahead to next year, we do want to continue looking at our long-range plan that we developed last year, and that means doing things like creating information tools for homeowners associations and similar type groups so that the public is fully aware of what's available to them. I'm very happy. I've been in libraries for 25 years, so I'm continually amazed by what our peers can do and what my team can do. But we want that to have even more impact, and so having more people aware of it will be a very good thing, and that's one of the things that we're going to try to do. Also, we'll be looking at creating a technology-driven makerspace for adults. That's something that we do not currently have in place that a lot of libraries have had success with. And then finally, kind of leading up to the next fiscal year, this is almost more of a personal goal, but really looking hard at the budget. Erica mentioned a flat budget for the next year, and making sure that we're going to be able to secure cost of living increases for our staff, and figuring out how to balance that with the budget, because that does represent a significant amount. And so that's an objective for the library, but it's also kind of one of my own objectives as a new director here. And finally, I just wanted to mention that I've got a lot of family here in Pinellas, my mother and my father, and most of my siblings and their kids, and it's nice to be here, not just because of the amazing organization and community, but also to be kind of making a home here that's closer to my family and also hopefully trying to make a difference for the county in general, especially for Palm Harbor. So thank you very much, and any questions?
Thank you. Commissioner Latvala.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you very much for being here. First off, happy birthday. My question has to do with last year in the month of June, there was a pretty significant pride display in the kids section that caused some concern with community members. Eventually, I believe, was taken down. What is the plan this month in the kids section, or next month in the kids section?
Well, we've thought a lot about that and talked a lot about that, not just within our library, but externally as well. The plan is that Pride will still be honored through displays in the library. There will be a presence in the children's section, but some of the concerns that came up last year are trying to be taken into account, trying to be respectful of what people expect in the community, but also mindful of the concerns that were raised last year. We did send out an invite to the commission for sort of a special meeting or preview of summer reading that's going to be happening on the 28th. Anybody who can't attend, and if you're not able to attend, we can provide those materials to you and kind of more details about the changes that we've made, as well as what the nature of these materials and themed bookshelves are all about. I think the most important thing that I could possibly say here is that, libraries do have an agenda. Our agenda is reading. And we want people who need access to materials that either commemorate a proclamation, whether it be local or national. In the case of Pride, it's both. As well as materials that will be informational or recreational for them. And so we want to stay true to that, but we also want to be mindful of any concerns that are raised and try to make at least some adjustments to that. And so that's why I sent out the invite, so that if anybody wants to be there in person before summer begins and talk to us directly and see at least a little bit of what we have planned, you'll be able to do that.
I have a follow-up. Thank you very much. And I recognize that Pride is an important month, and we're a welcoming county to everybody. And my concern is not what you do in the library per se. My concern is what goes on in the kids section, because that causes parents to have conversations with their kids that they don't necessarily want to have at the age of 5 years old. And last year, and I don't want to point out any particular group, but last year there was, for instance, a flag with different members of the LGBT community. And for instance, it had like the demisexual flag, saposexual, and like just different things that I didn't even know what they were. Another thing that they had displayed was a book called Gender Identity for Kids. And it was a book for ages 2 to 7 years old. And when you opened it and you read it, and the book was top of the bookshelf, or it was at the eye level of these kids, when you opened the book up, it talked about that there was more than 20 different genders. And it lists all the genders and essentially said, you are what you think you are, and your gender can change from day to day and so forth. And that may not be what parents in Palm Harbor want their kids necessarily to read at that age. Can you talk about the changes that you are going to be making compared to the things that happened last year?
Yeah, I think one of the concerns about flags, I think that's been addressed in terms of not having what you would call like the number of different types of flags represented. Some of the titles that were brought up last year are not going to be part of that area. The area itself was more on the younger children's side last year. And when you go into our children's library, there's sort of a distinguished path, to the older kids area and the younger kids area. And so I thought that suggestion was a good one, or at least that concern was a good one to take into account. And so it's the area that we have pinpointed, and this is not the only themed bookshelf that we'll have in the library. It would be more on the older kids side. And when I say it's not the only thing, when I talk about the importance of reading, there's a lot that gets celebrated over the summer. Of course, there's our summer reading theme, which is Adventure Begins at Your Library, so there'll be a lot of things about the outdoors, and we have one dedicated specifically to Florida, Floridiana. I can never say it quite right, but pioneers in terms of the early adventures of America, and Disability Awareness Month in July. So there's sort of the titles that are selected a little bit more mindfully for that area, the area that it actually exists, and then for lack of a better word, decoration or attention drawn to the materials on display. I think those who would have concerns probably would have at least maybe less concerns. But I want to kind of circle back to the idea of the experience of going into a children's room in a library and what we want. And in addition to people reading and youth reading, we also want parents to be involved in their children's lives when it comes to learning and education and reading. And we want that level of engagement. And we realize that it's not always going to be a perfect setup, and that's the nature of libraries too. There will always be sort of a unsettling of things because there will be things on the bookshelves or out, for viewing that won't be appealing or maybe really upsetting. And that's important to recognize, but we do try to collect for everyone. And there are a great many people who do want access to those materials. So we try to kind of walk that line as best we can and make sure that we're doing what we can to get what people want to read readily available to them. It goes to a tenet of library science, which is access. Access can take a lot of different forms, from the way that you create certain fields within a library record. Going back to my old cataloging days, I still remember 100 and 245. Lois is nodding over there, in terms of what you put in and what subject headings you put in and what terms are used. And then there is, making sure they're properly labeled, if materials belong in the sections that they belong. And then there's making sure that if people come in looking for something, that they're going to be able to get it relatively easily. So it's especially for me coming in new here, it was a complicated topic and task to look at. I think we're getting it as right as we can. We could always be better, but yeah, I don't think that what we have in the library will be upsetting to no one, but I do think it will be the best that we can do to kind of honor the main mission of reading for the library and for the community.
One last question. You mentioned older kids. Are you referring to the teen section?
No. The teen room is its own room in another part of the library.
So is that the older kids section of the children's section?
The older kids section of the children's room. So when you go in to the children's room, there's sort of a play area, with a little beach house and little picture books. And then when you go to the left, there's more junior fiction and nonfiction and those types of materials.
Okay. Thank you.
So older elementary and that kind of thing.
Commissioner Long.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would just like to share a bit of a different perspective from some of the experiences in my own different chapters of my life that may shine some light and an opportunity for folks to look at this issue in a different way. I have 5 grandchildren and another great-grandchild on the way. And so I've had quite a lot of personal experience with little ones, and I would consider a 2-year-old a toddler. And the one thing I learned the hard way more than once is that toddlers are innately curious. And the moment you try to tell them you cannot do that, or you cannot do this, or whatever, you're automatically asking them to invent a way to move around you, and they will find one. So I think the most important thing that you said in your response to Commissioner Latvala was the part about parent engagement and involvement in their children's lives, because we all do our very best to protect our little ones and keep them safe and give them the nurturing environment that mirrors our own values. But you have to recognize that your values are not everyone else's values, number one. And number two, the moment that toddler goes to pre-K or, any kind of daycare center, you're losing control of the messages that they receive, not only from the faculty in that school, but from the other students that they're exposed to. And I won't take the time in this public meeting to tell you a very, very funny story about some things that were no in the Catholic elementary school where my children were fortunate enough to attend. And I can share with you, they figured out a way to move around that no. And it was a really interesting time in the raising of my children and how precocious they could really be. Boys, mostly, I'm sorry to say. But so you have to be a little careful in terms of how you try to dictate academic policy and curriculum and where that's all going. And most parents trust that the educators in the school that they choose for their child will mirror the values they want in their own home. That's one of the reasons I chose to keep my children in a parochial school. And I could wax on for a long time about some of the adventures that we have lived through with our children. I now call it a bit of a tribe. But, they're educators for a reason. And if you don't like the way in which they're educating your child or the things that you're exposing them to, then as a parent, you have the opportunity to move them to a different environment. And if you don't, well, that's on you. That's my personal opinion, and I'd appreciate it if everybody could just think about that going forward on this issue.
Commissioner
Thank you.
Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I promise that my question is much simpler. Just looking at your FTE count at 44.4, I just noticed it's in the notes that it says 2 part-time positions are frozen. Is this the same FTE count that you're proposing for fiscal year 25 that you have right now, or is there any change in that?
No, FTE, but what was the number you said?
44.4.
Maybe that's a typo. Let's see here. Our FTE is 22.8 for the library specifically. I'm not sure what you have there.
You might have a combination.
Maybe a
Oh, okay,
combo?
that's the
Oh, okay.
combination. I apologize, that's a combination. So the library operating is 22.8 then?
Right.
Is that what you're proposing just going forward then for 25?
It's what we have including vacant positions. Yeah, it's not including frozen positions.
Not
So
included.
our frozen positions are what we feel is ideal in terms of bench for the library,
Okay.
but we can't afford it. So-
Got it, okay. All right, thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? All right, thank you so much. Again, you guys do a great job. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have the Eastlake Library and Recreation Service District budget update. And for the library, we have Lois, who's always wonderful to see and hear from. And then recreation will be Mark Sanders.
Mark has decided to stay seated because brevity is not my strong suit. Good morning. Thank you for the chance to present our annual report to the commissioners and the county staff. If public libraries were a business, you'd want to buy that stock. If you consider what the average household in Pinellas County pays for library services, less than $5 a month, and put that next to the public library's vast offerings, the point is obvious. For less than $100 a year, you get thousands of books, music, movies, wholesome activities for kids, free programs for adults and seniors, very expensive market research databases, and much more. Increased property value, job skills development, and strengthening of social services are all examples of the public value libraries create. That means these are ways libraries benefit even those who never set foot inside. Libraries aren't just feel-good spaces. They are solid, tangible evidence of public money returned directly to a community as a public value. 2024 has been a very pivotal year for Eastlake Community Library. We have been extremely successful with our programs and services, maintained a balanced budget, and managed to offset rising costs with innovative ways to bring local dollars back into the operational budget. Every year has its success stories, but I would like to point out a few highlights. We did, back in January, a service day in which we were able to build 37 beds and have over $1,000 in bedding donated through an organization, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We had our first annual passport fair in February, where we executed over 50 passports in less than 5 hours. We have new partnerships through Council of North County Neighborhoods and through the departments and divisions of Pinellas County to bring programs and forums into our library for our community members. Our Crunch Robotics team, made up largely of 9th graders this year, competed in a national and international competition where they, I believe, came in the top 10 in their category, which is remarkable. We have a new Eastlake nonprofits organization that we created to help collaborate and work together with sharing of resources, marketing, and publicity. And unfortunately, the food pantry that we started during COVID has been expanded because the food insecurities are still quite evident in our community. We now serve probably close to 50 people a week with a 24-hour food pantry right outside our doors. Now, to paraphrase a quote about data, everybody guesses, but statistics can tell you how good your guesses are. Numbers may be boring, but they guide us in making the decisions about collections, programs, and services so that we're spending your money wisely. I would like to review some of these stats from the past six months that reflect our performance levels in FY 2024. We are bucking national trends when it comes to physical or print materials. We are close to averaging over 9,300 checkouts each month on physical materials. That's books, large print, DVDs, CDs, audiobooks. So the need is still there, the demand is still there, and we want to be able to meet the needs of this demographic. However, our digital footprint is also very popular. We have our downloadable books, which are averaging approximately 1,200 a month, and then we have all of our e-resources that are available either in the library or remote from home. Ancestry and any genealogical websites are very popular. Excuse me, not websites, okay, databases. We also have others, such as Mometrics, that allow people to do practice exams right from home. Program attendance. We have, since October, had over 300 programs and a total attendance of 4,500. And it meets the needs and interests of all age levels. And we have gone away from virtual. People are now interested. They want to come back into the library. So we have health and wellness, of course, the traditional children's programs, senior programs, public forums, story times, and book clubs. This is an especially impressive number. I have a wonderful volunteer coordinator who has single-handedly increased the number of volunteer hours by over 185% over the same time last year. Think about how many tasks and responsibilities that are done by these support people that would have to fall on the shoulders of paid staff. We have a total volunteer hours over the last 6 months of almost 4,000. That's equivalent to 2 full-time jobs and 1 part-time job. Think of how we're stretching taxpayer dollars by being able to utilize the volunteers in our library. And of course, our favorite success story is our passport services. So far this year, we have processed 485 passports in the last 6 months. We're on pace for another 1,000 plus year, and we are averaging over 80 passports a month. We are also planning to expand the number of hours we have available. And this, again, cannot be done without the assistance of staff who are willing, in addition to their normal responsibilities, to also take on the responsibility of being passport agents. Now, looking forward, we would like to take a look at what we have planned for FY 2025. We are looking at grants to provide low vision devices for our patrons, additional sensory panels and musical instruments in our children's garden, Florida Humanities grants for special programs. What we have also is a fingerprinting service. We have just been approved by our advisory board and by Certifix to be an FDLE certified fingerprinting service. So now we have passports, we have passport photos, and now we have fingerprinting. So again, it provides 2 things. Number 1, additional revenue stream to bridge the gap between revenue and expenses, but also an additional service for our local community. And we look back at 25 years. By the way, in November, it's the 25th anniversary of this building. It's also the 25th anniversary of me as a FIXA member. So we have two things to celebrate. We want to look ahead to a very exciting year. As you can see, a lot's gone on in the last 25 years. The one gentleman, I don't know if you can see him in the kind of like the middle to the right, that gentleman was the first patron to walk into the library in 1999, and he just recently passed away, but we wanted to honor him in our collage here. Now let's look forward. What better way to celebrate the past, but with a vision for the future? It was interesting that Commissioner Justice asked about the smallest library. Okay? We've been doing our homework and checking, make sure we are not quite the smallest, but close. The closest library building in size to Eastlake is St. Pete Beach. However, St. Pete Beach serves a population of 8,800. We serve a population of almost 33,000. If you look, that shows the library size in square feet starting in 2010, our Phase 1 expansion, our proposed Phase 2 expansion, and then what the minimum standards are for a population that we serve. We kind of think of ourselves as the little engine that could. Eastlake Library, if you look to the bar graph on the left, serves more people in a much smaller building than any of our neighboring libraries. We are at just under 9,000 square feet, yet we serve 33,000 population. If you look at other libraries such as Oldsmar, Safety Harbor, and Tarpon Springs, they're much bigger buildings and serve a much smaller community. And by the way, Safety Harbor is now in their construction phase, putting on a second story of 4,800 square feet. So that will be even a bigger building. We also cannot add to our collection, which is indicated on the bar graph on the right, because we have no place to put the books. So we really need more space. But I would like to point out that even though our collection has stayed at 42,000 approximately for 10 years, we are a net donor library, which means we have a quality collection where we are lending out every month more of our books than we are bringing in from other libraries. So let's look ahead. what we need, yes, we want a bigger building, okay, but we also need certain things. We have some basic necessities that cannot be met in the present building. We do not have a fire suppression system. Our ADA compliance, we are not ADA compliant because of the fact that we cannot expand our aisles, our bookcases, and so on, to allow those who are physically challenged to get in and out of the aisles. Thank goodness I have a wonderful staff. They're able to go in and out and retrieve materials for our library members. They even bring them out to their cars. Energy efficiency, our building is not energy efficient. If we were able to expand it, we would be able to use energy efficient materials and hopefully solar panels on the roof to reduce our energy costs. And sustainability. Building of a second story would have minimal impact on the environment, but allow us to provide all of the services necessary.
So Lois, Commissioner Long has a question.
Yes.
I apologize, Lois, you may be intending to answer this before you get to the end, but with that list of needs, I'm thinking, well, those things have been known about for quite some time, obviously. And my question is, are you planning to launch a capital campaign?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I have it right here.
So are you also applying for state grants?
Yes, we have to, for the state construction grants.
Okay, because you can also ask for a separate appropriation if you reach out to Senator Hooper,
Okay, thank you.
since he's Chair of Appropriations next year. That would be a strong recommendation.
Thank you.
I don't know that we need a local bill. I think it's just an appropriation act. So she certainly can approach the senator and ask him. And you may, because he's the chair, he probably can't submit it, so you may have to ask someone else, but his office can direct you on how to do that.
Thank you.
Matter of fact, you can talk to my staff, Ashley, over here, because she can direct you on how to do that. She worked for him for the last 2 years.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
You go ahead. Sorry
Oh,
for the interruption.
That's all right. Well, that certainly helps with the next slide, because this is our vision for the future. Now, this is a rendering of a second story with an expansion going up and slightly out, but more up because we have a postage stamp piece of property. And this was originally a Penny for Pinellas project of $5.1 million. The recent CIP timeline showed a $4.5 million, I believe, for this project. The expansion, the construction phase is scheduled at this point for 2027, 2028. Again, with inflationary costs associated with any delays, as well as the fact that the original allocation has been reduced by $600,000, we are working at our end. We have just started to plan for a capital building fund, as you asked, Commissioner Long, and private donors so that we can make this vision a reality in the next 3 years. A major expansion and a renovation resulting in a complete transformation that will support the entire community. Although government funding for libraries isn't a simple formula, it's really the lifeline that many libraries need to thrive. Local funding is what helps create momentum for the library's vision for the future. However, money is not the only way libraries can achieve these goals. Funding paired with collaboration with key government partners is a powerful combination. I invite you and ask your help to join us on this journey of collaboration and co-creation as we work together to build a stronger, more vibrant community library. Your voice and your votes matter, and your participation will help us design the operation, projects, and programs that affect us all. I thank you for your commitment to our community and willingness to engage in this vital dialogue. And together, we can create a greater Eastlake community. Thank you.
Any other questions for Lois? So I want to commend you on the fingerprinting. I think that's great. That helps businesses and employees get their background checks. I think you have done a great job at thinking outside of the box on how to be creative to really make your library relevant in so many ways. and really you've diversified. I think it's great. So kudos to you. I think you've done an outstanding job. And Barry, our new government affairs, I'm sorry, Matt? If they do go for an appropriation, is that something we would consider to put on our legislative agenda?
We can always support, but we can't put all the different entities on our appropriation request because it would just be competing. We can support them in their
Right,
request.
I get it, okay. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, great. Just to get you started, I recommend you go see Ashley before you leave.
Okay. I just want to end with a joke I heard this morning. It's the library joke, okay? We always like to keep you laughing. In fact, the Facebook page is called The Laughing Librarian. What did one library book say to the other?
No idea.
Watch out, he's checking you out. Thank you. I know.
Outstanding, thank you for coming. You always do such a great job. And then Mark Sanders is up next. It's good to see you.
And so the streak ends. No, my cohorts and coworkers are pretty amazing and do amazing things, as you've all heard. First of all, I'd like to thank the board and county administrator for all their support in our endeavors out at East Lake Recreation. East Lake Recreation has been servicing recreation needs to the East Lake community, population of 33,000 almost, for almost 10 years now. It started in 2014, in October of 2014. I started in February of 15, so hard to believe I'm going on my 10th year here now. Of course, my hair was a different color when I started, but I'm very happy to be a part of this organization, this FIXA organization, which is totally amazing group of people, as you have heard. We've done so many things out there, improvements since I've started, but there are so many other things to do. We have a large population of, we're predominantly a youth sports complex, so we differ from the other FIXA entities somewhat. But I believe we have a good model, and we're reaching our goals of providing those services, mostly youth, like I said, services, but trying to expand into some more adult services as well. And with that comes needs. We have needed, as you know, as I've said here for the past how many years, additional parking, a building for an office building for myself, more space, indoor space for kids to use in inclement weather. We also have a big need for more field space. We're pretty much at our maximum of field space due to the high amount of usage we get from the sports teams and the community itself. So especially this spring, it's been very hard to grow grass. And with all the usage, the grass goes away, and now we have a lot of spots that are just piles of dirt. That makes it difficult. Now, we also have the seasons seem to go longer and longer every year. It seems like soccer is never ending. So we have besides the parking, which we're working on right now, working with Nancy and Tom Amante on a parking situation that we, hopefully a plan that we can come up with. We're in the very preliminary stages of that, but we've had some very productive discussions, and we're moving forward on that. So appreciate the help that they provided for us on that. With that being said, we also have wanted to expand out at our Meadows area, and we do need more field space, and we would like to expand out there within the perimeter of the passive trail that's going to be built there shortly. And within the circumference of that, we would like to add 3 more fields. and we would like them to be artificial turf fields, which would then take care of the problem of wearing out our grass. Also, it would be advantageous to us for tournaments, providing more income to the area, and more rental dollars. We've had excellent success with our sports programs. This past year, we've had 11 girls sign athletic scholarships to play soccer in college. 3 of our teams this year are girls' teams. Our U13s, our U15s, and our U18s are Florida State champions. And they'll be moving on to the national tournament and playing in the regional nationals this June. I don't have a whole lot more to say other than very, again, proud to be working here. Thank you for your support. I think what we do is provide an essential service out there. It's kind of the only fields in the North County area. We offer quality sports programs at a reasonable price, and which is within the same ballpark as, no pun intended, as the surrounding communities. So with the continued support from the board and Pinellas County, we can improve and upgrade the complex to meet the growing needs of the residents of East Lake community. I'll entertain any questions that you may have.
Any questions? Commissioner Justice?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Not really a question, just want to thank you. And yeah, 10 years goes pretty quick. And I remember, just appreciate how you've created something from scratch, basically, when the funding was implemented and all the work that you've put in. And encourage the other commissioners, if you haven't been out there in a while, Mark does a great job of giving you a tour and updating you on everything that's going on and the needs. So just appreciate your good work.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thanks. Anyone else? Well, thank you so much, and thank you again for all the hard work that you do. Okay. Next up is Seminole Recreation Sports District.
So your newest
Our newest.
one coming up. Now, commissioners, this is going to be their budget request. You'll actually establish the levy as part of our budget process. So that'll be coming back to you. You haven't set the millage amount on that. That'll be part of your budget process. This is their request.
Okay.
Okay?
And so we have Amanda and Steve.
There they are.
Good to see you.
Good morning, Madam Chair and Commissioners and other distinguished guests. As mentioned, I'm Amanda Felton, and with me here today is Steve Cecil, and together we represent the newly formed unincorporated Seminole Sports Association, which was appointed by your honors to manage the newly created unincorporated Seminole Sports District. As you know, the new district was created last December at the request of the unincorporated citizens in our area, and is comprised of 3 sports complexes: the Seminole Junior Warhawks facility, the Cross Bayou Field, and SYAA. Since the creation of the district only 5 months ago, our board has spent time compiling hard data from our current operations, obtaining guidance from our existing counterpart in Eastlake, and thank you, Mark Sanders, for your assistance, and researching future operational costs, all in order to construct our inaugural budget, which we're presenting to you today. Based on our findings, we're requesting the commission adopt a $250,000 for the district. In fiscal year 2023, we had over 2,400 children playing youth sports at our 3 facilities. As you can see on the screen, here are a breakdown of a few of the numbers. And based on this year's data, we expect to exceed those numbers by this fall. On your screen is a breakdown of our preliminary budget, which, as I mentioned, is based on our direct current operating expenses from the past year, proposals for future operating services, which a few of those were included in your materials, plus a factor for inflation. As you can see, over 50% of the funds are estimated to be needed for turf and field maintenance. That's in purple. 18% will be used for operating expenses other than turf and field maintenance. This includes items such as insurance, janitorial, irrigation, etc. 11% for utilities, 11% for general and administrative expenses. That includes the salary of an employee, and 2% for other repair and maintenance of the buildings and facilities. This budget is our educated estimate of the funds necessary to maintain the complexes. As I mentioned, we did submit a few of our turf and field maintenance estimates in your package for review. And we have found, based on the budget, that we will need to scale back the scope of work within those proposals to meet within our budget parameters. In the short term, we will be focused on establishing use agreements with sports organizations, hiring an executive director, as I mentioned, and assuming major services from our sports organizations if possible. That includes turf and field maintenance, cleaning and janitorial services, and waste removal services. Finally, we plan to meet some of our most pressing existing challenges, which includes infrastructure improvements needed at the SYAA and the Seminole Junior Warhawks complex. So just to expand on that last item for a moment, in the second half of fiscal year 2025, we expect that Cross Bayou will be under construction. One challenge for our district will be meeting the current demand for baseball, softball, and t-ball, which will shift entirely to the Warhawks and SYAA facilities. The construction of Cross Bayou is going to result in the loss of 6 fields for approximately 3 seasons, based on what we're being told, and that assumes construction occurs on time. So it could be more like 2 years, we'll see. Accordingly, the district intends to resurrect at least 2 baseball fields in the area that you're seeing on the screen here at the SYAA complex in accordance to meet that demand. So this area that you're seeing here is known as the lower fields, and the work that we intend to do includes building up the sunken areas, constructing basic dugouts, which here's a picture of the dugouts in that area, or what used to be a dugout, and repairing lighting around the lower fields, which is currently inoperable. If you were to come to the SYAA complex, you would notice that there is lighting in the main area when you first walk in, but what we call the lower fields, that lighting does not work, and it is very expensive. I believe I have a picture of some of it here. From a budgetary standpoint, planning is already underway to move any usable equipment. And honestly, even if we can make it work, we've discussed moving physical clay from the Cross Bayou complex to the other complexes, which will not be under renovation. Our coaches and families are used to pinching pennies, so they're prepared to maximize as many existing resources as possible from the Cross Bayou facility. But as you could imagine, it's just not possible to fully construct 2 baseball fields at SYAA solely using existing infrastructure from Cross Bayou, which some of it just cannot be used and is obviously quite aged. So accordingly, as I mentioned, our plan is to use the funds that would otherwise be used for the ongoing operation of Cross Bayou while that complex is under construction to make necessary improvements or repairs at the other 2 complexes while they wait their turn to be renovated. For the complex that is last in line, which we're not sure whether that will be the SYAA complex or the Warhawks complex, we're being told that construction may not occur until around the year 2030 or beyond. So for our district, there is value to repair at least some of the major items in the interim. And what you're seeing here is a few of the items at the Warhawks complex, also known as Seminole Junior Warhawks. And there are some lighting issues, some repairs that need to be made, and the middle photo is what is used as a dugout on one of the fields. Our long-term plans include reducing participation fees for our district residents, identifying state and federal grants, identifying income sources for the district, such as rentals, like they're doing in Eastlake, and establishing reserves for capital improvements. Our goal, as you can see here on the screen, is to do more with less. Our investigation shows that while we can reduce various expenses for the complexes through consolidation of some services, which will lessen the burden overall to our families, we simply as a district cannot do it all. While the sports organizations were likely dreaming that the creation of the district would provide 100% funding of the operations, and I'll admit I was one of those people, Our research shows that even with a $250,000, our users will still be responsible for some of the costs to operate their leagues and the facilities. And I have some examples here on the screen. The sports organizations will still be responsible for league operation costs such as uniforms, player equipment, umpire and referee fees, field equipment, I mentioned a few there, bases, goals, nets, and registration fees for all-stars or other tournaments. Our sports organizations will also be responsible for facility operation costs such as concession stand items, first aid supplies, security devices, signage, and scoreboards. And finally, based on the data that Steve and I put together, it's unlikely that the district will be able to fund all maintenance and repair items for the facilities. So we can anticipate that our users will need to be responsible for certain maintenance and repair costs, all depending on the budget. We do hope to assist the user organizations by connecting them with grant opportunities to assist them with projects that cannot be covered by the district's budget. In the end, fundraising and volunteers will still be needed to run successful programming. So we invite everyone here today to be a part of supporting our youth in the unincorporated area of Mid-County, not only today, but going forward. And we'll use anyone that can come by and volunteer their time. Or if not, please stop by and grab a hot dog and fries from our concessions. Every single dollar goes directly back into our leagues. In conclusion, this is a really exciting time for our local youth in Mid-County, and we want to thank you, commissioners, for making this longtime dream a reality. On behalf of the unincorporated Seminole Sports Association, we ask that you approve a $250,000 for fiscal year 2025. And just quickly before I take my seat, I think he might have walked out, but I wanted to convey my sincere thanks to Chris Rose and his staff, especially Ms. Edel, for all their support in assisting us with our budget inquiries. We certainly could not have been prepared to speak to you today on our inaugural budget without their help, so a huge, huge thank you to them. Steve and I are here to answer any questions you may have about our inaugural budget, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much. You did a great job, by the way.
Just like Mark said, it's been a great partnership with all of you, Barry, Paul Kazi, the OMB staff, Tom, and even Brian there in the back from communications. He helped us a great deal. So the whole county as a whole has been a partner with us, and we thank you for that.
Great. All right. Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you, Amanda and Steve, for being here, and great presentation. It is an exciting time. It's nice to see this finally come to fruition. It's been a long time coming. Just a couple quick questions. How many leagues do you think that are out there that would be participating? That's my first question. Then secondly, on facility operations, concession stand items, since the leagues would be operating those, is there any opportunity for revenue for the district on that, or would all of that revenue go back to the sports organizations?
So as to your first question about the leagues, we currently have 5 organizations that provide baseball, softball, t-ball, soccer, and football. Although we do understand that with the renovation of at least the Warhawks complex, that there will be some multi-use fields and that lacrosse is becoming very, very popular. So honestly, as long as our we can withstand the usage, we'd like to have as many organizations as possible. But currently there are 5. There are a lot of requests to use the fields right now. And those requests are managed by the complexes. We anticipate that our district will be creating a policy and procedure. We just had our first meeting 2 weeks ago, so we're in the initial steps, but there will be a procedure for requesting usage from groups that are not currently using the fields, and then those will be handled by the district based on, obviously, the usage and maintenance schedule. So I just don't know what number will be going forward. As to the concession stands, they're certainly not they're not losing money. Right now, the only concession stand that's operating is at the Cross Bayou facility. When that goes under construction, I know at least the baseball organization, the Pinellas County Youth Baseball, plans to operate concessions either at one of the other ones. It doesn't lose money. It generates about $10,000 a year in income, and for us that operate it, we put that into very specific needs. We just don't know. We'll have to adopt those policies right now. For example, depending on our budget, if the district is funding a great deal of the field and maintenance costs, and users are coming in to rent those fields, we expect that income, a portion of it, or maybe all of it, depending on our what the districts be able to provide, will come back to the district. Concession stand, we don't know, but I would anticipate that if
It would stay with the sports,
it would stay with the sports if they're funding all of the
and they're providing the volunteers for it.
supplies, equipment, and volunteers.
What about, follow-up question, what about sponsorship opportunities like outfield signs and things like that?
Yep, there are a great deal of sponsorship opportunities that are ongoing right now. Currently, that money goes directly to the individual complexes. So we will have.
Or sports.
Or the sports, right? And we'll have to adopt a policy on how that's going to be used going forward, but there is no current policy as to.
Yeah, I think we talked about this a little bit at our meeting, that at the district level, we have a great board member by the name of Robbie Groover, who seems to be really invested in grant opportunities out there, and we are going to sic him out to look at these grant opportunities, both at the state and national level, to help fund the district. We think sponsorships are usually smaller and help the individual sports, but we look forward to looking at grant opportunities to help the district as a whole.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Any other questions or comments? No, I think you're off to a great start. Good luck.
Thank you.
You are going to have a challenging couple years getting it started and up and going, and I know you guys will persevere and it'll be great. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have the ad valorem tax exemption program.
Now, Commissioners, this is an item on your agenda. This is item number 24 on your agenda. I know you've been briefed on this, but we thought as we're setting the budget, and this is something you're going to be voting on to go to the voters, we do a quick overview of the program.
Thank you. Good morning, Cynthia Johnson, Economic Development. Commissioners, this item will be on your agenda for consideration. We're seeking to get an extension of the ad valorem, a renewal of the ad valorem tax exemption program. It expires in August of 2024, and we want to get you all to approve the language for the ballot so that we can get it on the ballot on the August 20th ballot. The program has been extremely successful and is one of the tools that we use for competitiveness. In fact, it is one of the 2 investment tools that we are able to have here for our companies. One of the benefits that we see the ad valorem tax exemption program, in addition to being a competitive tool for us, is that it really helps us recruit and expand target industries. And those industry partners, as you know, typically pay higher wages to our citizens, which is critical to us. One of the things that we really enjoy about the program that is not for everyone, and we don't present it to everyone. It is a specific program for a specific need, and we've had success with the company that we are currently working with through this process. We've had the program for the last 10 years, and we are looking to expand it for another 10 years. The ask that we have is that part of the process in order for us to get the language on the ballot is for you to provide it through a resolution to approve the language. Then we will provide that language to the supervisor of elections. The Florida statute kind of dictate what that language is, and it's included in your staff report. And what we will do at that point, we will have it on the general election that will happen on August the 20th. It is a countywide election, so all citizens will have the opportunity to vote on that particular referendum item. And so that's pretty much our update for the tax exemption program, and I'll answer any questions that you may have.
Does anyone have any questions? Charlie, Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And if you don't have it today, if you can get it, just a list of the projects we've worked on so far through this program.
We've had the program for 10 years. We've had 12 applicants that have come before you interested in the program. Of that 12, 8 of those companies elected to not continue with their applications. And we have 4 active partners working in the program right now. We have actually had one company who has actually received 3 years of exemption for the total of $28,000.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you, and thank you for taking me out to see one of the programs and hear what they were doing, and they're going to exceed what they promised. So I think it's been a great opportunity. I think you've managed this well. Like you said, you don't offer it to everybody. We're not picking winners and losers, and so I think you've managed it really well. Thank you.
So much. Well, I get the great pleasure of staying up here. Go ahead, Barry. Oh, okay. Well, as I said, we have 2 very important investment tools for economic development. And so our next tool is our Employment Sites Program. And so I'm going to invite Jared. Come on up, Jared. Jared is with Kimberly Horn, and he has been working diligently with our office to ensure that we create the second phase of the Employment Sites Program with a really strong foundation. We have had tremendous success in the first phase, which has been part of the Office in Industrial Development. And we are entering this next phase, which is the public infrastructure phase. As you all know, our Employment Sites Program is a result of the penny dollars, and we are using our funds to modernize, create, and renovate office space, industrial space here in Pinellas County. We've had the good fortune of investing in many projects. We've had 6 funding rounds, and with those 6 funding rounds to date, we have committed $25.8 million of investment to help fund those existing rounds. In that, we've expanded, modernized, or created over 1 million square foot of space within the county. And one of the biggest excitements that we have is coming up for you in June, and that's our round 6. Round 6 of the existing program, we have 6 applications. And we have applications from Safety Harbor to St. Pete. And it's a nice, diverse group of real good projects requesting about $11.9 million. But today we wanted to really focus on the next phase, which is our public infrastructure component. And that's where I'm going to ask Jared to come and share with you exactly what the public infrastructure component of the Employment Sites Program is and how we are working with our municipal partners to identify projects that we can pull into this program. Jared? Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cynthia. Good morning, members of the board. Excited to be here in front of you. Yes, this has been really a good program where we've started to lay out some of the criteria for this second phase, and it's been great working with staff, Teresa Brighton and Cindy Margiotta. This goes back a number of years. This isn't new, but what we're showing you for you are really the types of public infrastructure projects we're talking about, and that goes from transportation, energy, water, wastewater, information systems. What we're really trying to do is create criteria to look at impactful projects for target employment. And what we're really trying to do with that is identify projects with our local partners that can expand our reach and make our dollars go even further. So that's really what we're trying to do here. So at the bottom, you'll see some bullets there. This is really focused on multiple target employment industry companies, retention and expansion of target employees. Those are those higher paying jobs in the county that we're looking for in certain targeted areas. And most importantly, what we're talking about is gap funding. How do we really look at helping get impactful projects over the finish line? All right, so I wanted to share, this is kind of a snapshot of some of the criteria that we've generated. Cynthia mentioned kind of that first bucket. The second bucket, what we're looking at is coming out, this public infrastructure later this year. And so this is the way the projects would be viewed and scores. There's mainly four major themes, looking at jobs and employment any projects would bring to the table. Again, looking at retention, but expansion as a key. And then the feasibility. What we're really trying to look at are projects that, and they're not pie in the sky, they're not visionary, they're programmed or they've been thought about, they've had support. So that's that second bucket, if you will, the funding and timing. It's got to be feasible. It's a little harder to see, but we're also looking at locations. So that's some of those target employment areas. You'll see some of the red lines, the blue lines on the map. So are you into kind of a targeted redevelopment area? And the purpose of that is, again, to focus our public infrastructure on some of these target industry areas that we've been looking at. So that's that third industry bullet. The fourth one is support. So again, is it programmed? Is it in a plan? Have we looked at it already? How do we get this project over the finish line? Do we have letters of support? So those are kind of the general project criteria assessment when we receive applications in which these projects would be evaluated. All right, so I talked a little bit about this, but to give you more on the timing, Cynthia mentioned the round 6 for the industrial sites program. What we're looking at is later this summer, rolling out this program. And there's a lot that we've been doing. I know Barry's met with some of the city managers and talked to them about this program coming. We're really just trying to make sure that we get awareness, that all of our city staff are aware of this program. So that first bullet, early in January, February, we met and had multiple webinars with the different municipalities around the county, just to get the word out, get their feedback on potential criteria. I kind of highlighted already, we drafted criteria that I just shared with you. And we're here in May. What we're trying to do is really look at somewhere in the late summer timeframe, make that call for applications. And that, Barry, thank you again for talking to the city managers, because we want to make sure they know this is coming. And what we're looking at is having the evaluation in the late fall to kind of winter time, and then come back before y'all and show you the applications, and then have the awards for announcements later in the year and really get things going. So that's what our schedule is right now. And with that, we'll open it up with any questions.
Commissioners, if I can start off with, one of the things that's going to be a trick on this one is the first round, you got a business coming in, they want to take a site, we're going to help them with stormwater and helps make the project be able to go. So it's kind of easier to evaluate. Here, we're talking about working with the municipality on infrastructure needs that keep us competitive. And so, what we don't want to do is supplement city budgets by repaving their roads and things like that. And if they're good, well, I would try to get a grant for anything I could, right? And so we're trying to work on that criteria to make sure this is that value add that makes sites more competitive, that where we're doing something that drives jobs, that drives expansion, drives private investment. And so that's that gap funding they're talking about. And what they don't have up here is kind of a criteria chart where we can kind of rank these. And so I think as part of we get into this first round, we're going to have to evaluate that. We're going to have to tweak it and make sure that it's for the intended purpose, which is growing jobs, growing competitiveness, keeping areas to where, if we can invest, if we can do some infrastructure that makes an area more competitive and more accessible to where you get that private investment and things like that, that's certainly the intent of the program you created. And so we're going to have to kind of work through this one to make sure it does the intended purpose.
Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I think that we've done over the years, and the different programs that we've had available to work with the cities have been great. Are we also evaluating unincorporated sites that we could partner with ourselves on infrastructure, whether it's Palm Harbor Merchants or Joe's Creek, or are we evaluating that, or is it something we're waiting for someone to come to us?
No, we're actually, the unincorporated areas have been invited to participate as well. And we've been having some pre-meetings with unincorporated areas to really talk about what kind of projects, what kind of things that could we do together to make this work, to create the infrastructure that we're looking for additional job creation. So yes.
Because I think about that, we've put out for this huge grant for federal money for Joe's Creek, for drainage, for flood, for retention, all those things that, downtown St. Pete's the easy one. We get a great bang for our buck there. But other areas that we're also putting a lot of money into, where this could be the next 5 million, 10 million, whatever it's going to be, that can make the difference on that gap.
Absolutely.
Any other questions? Comments? No? Okay. Thank you so much. We look forward to hearing back. Okay.
All right, Commissioners, so those are the presentations for today. The last item we have is agenda review, if you're ready.
Yeah, we've had a request to take a 5-minute break, if that's okay. So we'll return about 11:10. down.
it's up to them to come and listen? All right.
Right.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and start then. So starting on our agenda item 1, Hero to a Child Proclamation. 2 is Emerging Medical Services Professionals of the Year Awards. That'll be with the credit union. Item 3 is Emergency Medical Services Week Proclamation. We'll skip vouchers and various reports and move to item 14, which is surplus equipment that we'll put out. Then you got delegated items. Item number 16 is award of bid to EOLA Power. This is for uninterrupted power supplies, batteries, traffic, and solar flashers, $253,000. Got a county attorney's item.
Just one case on there. It's a trip and fall, not on a sidewalk this time.
Item 18 is joint funding agreement with U.S. Geological Survey. This is for our light detection and range acquisition, so they do all their LiDAR data. We contract for that, $282,000. Item 19 is a public transportation grant, Florida Department of Transportation. This is for design and environmental work associated with the airfield and site preparations. So no more than, so basically $2.5 million. Item 20 is a project application to the Federal Aviation Administration. This is for the terminal project. Item 21 is ranking of firms, C&S Engineers, for this again with the terminal project for all their design and construction administration services. Item 22 is change order number 2. This is for Southern Vulgar Detention Equipment for changes that they're expanding for the use of this under this contract. So ongoing maintenance issues. Item 23 is First Amendment to an agreement with Williamson Design. This is architectural consulting services. This is for a jail site master plan. And you know, if you've been out to the sheriff's complex, you actually we have a very, very old facility that houses different functions in there. We also have a juvenile reception area there. And then across the street in the lowest part of the county where it all floods is where all the sheriff's record storage is and various things. So we've toured those. We really need a site plan to talk about long-term, what should that campus look like. You've addressed it from a security standpoint, and we're under construction or in finalizing, getting ready for construction for a central entry point. But this would be for the other items and everything across the street. So this is going to be the master plan to look long-term. That may be something we can roll into the new penny. And so we have to first identify what it is that we need. Item 24 is the ad valorem tax exemption to place it on the referendum. Item 25 is termination of agreement with Directions for Mental Health for Directions for Living. They have communicated they're no longer able to provide the services as originally proposed, so they'll be canceling that contract. Item 26, 2 renewals with Operation PAR for substance abuse services. Item 27 is a grant application, funding application, or agreement, sorry, with the State of Florida Division of Emergency Management. This is for funding associated with Hurricane Eta, almost $20,000. Item 28, we're very happy with. This is to get just over $10 million for nourishment and dune construction on Sankey Beach.
Is this to put new dunes, or is this to kind of repay us for the dunes we already did? This is new?
So it's toward the eventual project, but again, whenever we are able to do that.
Okay. It's not reimbursement.
Come on up and explain, Jill.
Because we already got what, like?
Yeah, we got 15 million that the state reimbursed us out of about the 36 million that we spent.
Yeah.
Probably more than that, but I remember the 36 for the dune construction.
So this is
So this is new money. They want to have it in place and take, I mean, when somebody offers you money, you take it, put it in the bank, and then hopefully we'll be able to move on that project in the future.
Yeah, it's for the project that we would have completed this year if we had had core support for our easements. So it's,
Oh, so we can't put this isn't considered emergency dunes?
No.
no, that's not actually what it's intended for, although we think if we had to, we might be able to get approval for that.
The amount
There's
of-
a storm this summer, for example, and we need to.
Yeah, I mean, it took us a lot of work and energy to pump the water out of that area.
Yep.
All that standing water and stuff, so we can't use this now, we have to wait for the Army Corps?
Well, remember, we're under design for a full nourishment.
Right.
And so depending upon the outcome of the full nourishment, we couldn't do, except for emergency repairs, the nourishment you have to have permits for anyway. We're going through that design and permitting process now. So we'll have this funding available. You know, I think your question is, could we apply it to the dunes? I defer to staff on that, I don't know.
All right, I just assumed, and we have not put emergency dunes there yet.
That's correct.
Okay. So I would have thought that this would have applied as an emergency dune. but-
I'm sorry, let me correct that.
You did.
When I say we have not, I mean on the actual Sand Key stretch. For the Sand Key nourishment area, we did emergency dunes all the way from the Reddingtons up to
All the way down
Bel Air
from,
Beach.
farther south than that, but we didn't do Sand Key Beach.
That's correct.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Good. Item 29 is just amendment to our uniform our write-off policy. It allows us to act and do the write-off based upon either the Inspector General or an external auditor. Currently, we use an external auditor. The the Inspector General asked that they can be able to do that same thing and say these accounts are old, and we can close out based upon their review. So just a minor modification to the policy. Item 30 is exercise an option for purchase of the Whitesell property for $4.9 million. It's broken down within your packet. This has been a target area or a target property that expands our current preserve for some time. So moving ahead on that opportunity. Item 31 is application to receive E911 trust monies we get each year for 911 services. Item 32 is an agreement with Aztec Systems for our CityWorks online enterprise licensing system. That is what we currently use for managing all of our asset management, $3.5 million. And item 33 is request for the local workforce designation. So we have to do this. Obviously, you have to do this each year. Even though we're combining, we had to act on this even before all the rest of it combines.
I'm not anticipating currently to have any reports for you next week.
I will have a county administrator's report, several things to report. I'll have an update for you on the Duke issue. I'll be meeting with them tomorrow. And then you have several appointments to the Housing Finance Authority. Just that one. And that's it. Then we go over to public hearings. First item is on the Land Development Code. This is the modifications we discussed about accessory dwelling units. This is the first of two public hearings. Item 38 is we've been waiting for Safety Harbor to complete their renewal of their CRA. Again, this modifies it from 95% to 50%. We already made that modifications for one-year renewals while they were completing their process. This just completes the rest of the 8 years for the 10-year period. It took them 2 years to do that. Item 40 is an ordinance providing for the structural inspections for condominiums and things that we previously discussed with you over the new requirements for the Surfside stuff. And then item 41 is setting the fee schedule associated with that. Item 42 is an amendment. This has a lot of different changes in the budget. And we can go down through. One of the biggest ones is the beach nourishment, piece, which is going to be the next item. That's going to be, but then there are several things within that, and I think the chair had one item to bring up.
Oh, yeah, I had one item in there, just in full transparency. It also, reflects the overlap of staff that I had for 3 weeks, as well as a salary adjustment for my new aide, as it's different than my previous aide. So that was my part of it.
Questions? And then the last item is item 43, and this is for Pass-A-Grill. So we have an opportunity to, that's what the change on the last item is. This is an opportunity for us to actually go ahead and nourish Pass-A-Grill. So this is actually a very good project that will keep that part of the county having a full beach program, and and it actually matches up with the areas that don't need nourishment down there. So we wanted to move ahead on that. We have not only the sand, or at least part of the sand, but we have the permits and everything, and it's ready to go. And so we're modifying the contract with Gator Dredging, and they can activate to complete that project.
Great.
And that's it.
So, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have a question back on number 25, on the termination of directions. These are our high utilizer clients, and I was just curious what our plan was for replacing the contract.
What item, 25?
Item 25.
Yeah, the directions.
So, yeah, this is our our high utilizer. So one is we're going to be, remember when I talked about the homeless issue, the homeless camps? We're going to take 2 additional staff and put them over in Safe Harbor. So that's going to take up some of the funding. But we don't have a plan for the rest of it. They don't have a provider willing to provide the services. And so I think Karen's going to have to come back to you with ideas and options.
Yeah, I'm not so much thinking about where the money's going. I'm thinking about these are the 33, 39 people that we've had, we've been focusing on, and now we're not doing anything with them.
They're not really doing anything with it now. They're not really providing the types of services, and those connections. I mean, I think that's the issue and the reason they're pulling out. I'll have to have Karen in here to talk more specifically about, how they're going to do that. This is the same population, though, that we're talking about with these homeless encampments. It's folks that have, severe, mental health and need a variety of services. So one of the ways is, now Karen's approach on this is we're putting 2 counselors in Safe Harbor, but we're going after grants for mental health services and other things like that, which is the key piece of what this program would cover, is to make those connections.
And this doesn't cross over on the PIC team. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. But a lot of that was crossing over with the PIC team, and just so they're still doing the PIC team.
They are.
Okay, so it's just the high utilizers. And we're not even sure, we haven't had an update on that to see how many are left of that 33.
And that's, I can't answer. I don't want to answer.
Yeah,
I know enough that I'll get it wrong. So why don't I just make sure that Lourdes, I think Lourdes is back on Tuesday. So she'll be able to provide an update on Tuesday. How about that?
Okay.
And I think it'd get better information.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Good question. Any other questions or comments, discussion? Oh, yes, sorry, Jana, I forgot. Commissioner Long.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Barry, as you know, because you were there, it came to my attention at the Resiliency and Sustainability Summit last week, which was fabulous for those of you that were not there and attended all the sessions. Somehow this had fallen off my radar, and it got back on my radar as a result of that summit, that we have approximately 3,000 septic tanks still in Pinellas County.
Is that right, Jeremy?
And, well, okay, it might be funny, but you know what? At the end of the day, these are the issues that we've got faced with when all of that stuff ends up in the Gulf of Mexico as a result of not
I
paying
think the total
attention.
number, and I don't represent all of Pinellas, I think the total number of Pinellas County is 3,000. Unincorporated Pinellas County within our service area is about 1,000. So the ones that were within Pinellas County utility service area is about 1,000 septic systems.
Okay, well, what are we doing about it?
So we have a program for converting septic systems to public systems. The difficulty there is in the funding for providing the infrastructure to a narrower set of customers.
So when you address septic systems, you can't, he cannot use enterprise funds for private benefit, okay? And that becomes the difficulty with it. And if you take, let's just take a street at an unincorporated area, you will have people in there that will have failing septic tanks, and you will have a person next to them that just spent $20,000 for a mound system and they replaced it. So if you go to do an assessment, you're going to have difference of ideas of whether you should make that investment or not, because you're going to have different people that have different situations. It's typically been addressed through state grants, and we've been very successful in state grants. We had one a couple of years ago up on Dunedin, and again, that project, I think that project's complete. Is it not, or do you know?
I do not know.
Okay, but yes, not yet, close, okay. So we do go after state grants, and we try to get them, but it's long lead items. You got issues of right-of-way, you've got and public participation, but it's hard to get those in. I've done a number of assessments, $20,000, $30,000 a home, but that's always the issue. You have people that have made investment to fix their on-site system, and you have people that have a failing system or close to it. It's into and so those are the difficulty. That's the reason state grants work great, because then they bring that cost down.
And my point here is I get that it isn't easy. I mean, we addressed this way back when, trying to come up with a solution, and I understand all the different issues involved. I just want to make sure it doesn't fall off the radar again, because when we get hit with a major storm, all of that ends up in the Gulf of Mexico and/or our lakes and whatever. And so I just think it's a major thing that we need to keep our eye on the ball.
And remember, we had a big area that we were going to do as part of the ARPA funding, but we weren't going to be able to get it done in time to be able to spend that funds, and so we shifted that over to these mobile home communities that still have that same impact, because when you get a storm, that causes SSO. So it's not off our radar. We're going to continue to work on those.
Good. That's it for right now.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I've been getting, and I've talked with Jeremy about it as well, and I'm sure Commissioner Egger's probably been getting a lot of it too, from residents in Palm Harbor that don't have access to their reclaimed water.
Yep.
And I know, I've talked with Jeremy about it, and I know we have short-term and long-term plans that are working to address that. But there's residents up there that have been paying for something for months, and they're not getting that service. They're not getting the product. So I think we need to have some discussion about how we address that. They're paying for something that they're not getting. So I don't know what that is, if it's a credit or a rebate or something, but I think we need to have some discussion about it.
So obviously the issue is you have a capacity amount. There's not enough reclaimed water. You also have people watering not on the restricted days and drawing down too much. So that becomes an enforcement issue, which obviously you don't want to do, but that takes away from water. That's the reason you have water restrictions, because you don't have enough supply. The issue is when we get everybody on a meter, then they're paying for the use. And then just like a fire hydrant in front of your house, you have an availability. It costs us a certain amount to maintain the system, whether anybody uses that, fire hydrant or not. Okay, and so, but right now, you've got, you don't have it kind of broken up that way, but there is a cost to maintaining that system, an availability amount, that we're paying for, or the users overall are paying for, so all of the users. Jeremy, if you want to speak more to that, we can have that discussion, but part of it is just the way the system's being used. Part of it is we need to increase the supply, and we're working to do that, but that's not a short-term solution.
No, it's not, and I recognize that, and you know, I've had some really good discussion with Jeremy about it, and I understand the process, but that we're going through, but, you know, we still have residents that are trying to do the right thing, and they're paying for a product that they're not getting.
Jeremy?
So we've actually, in some of the areas where we've experienced low pressures, we've gone out in the non-watering period, so between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., you're not supposed to be watering. And in the exact addresses that have zero pressure, during the allowed water areas, we put a pressure logger on their system and they have adequate pressure. So the real problem is too many users using the system at once, and that's because of the narrow days that's imposed on us by the Water Management District, so we're stuck with the days. We're evaluating currently if we could stagger even more days, so instead of allowing just 2 days, maybe we make it 4 days and we segregate the community into, instead of just odds and evens. That becomes systematically hard to do, but we're evaluating engineering-wise what it would take to put that in place. It probably won't be in effect for this year, but maybe for future years coming down the road, we could help alleviate this problem. You saw the long-term solutions. We provided some information there about some additional pumping and booster stations we're trying to provide. We're looking at additional resources, capacity, volumetric resources in terms of aquifer storage. We're doing pilot projects right now where we're going to inject some surplus water when we have it in the rainy season and then capture that in the drier seasons. So we understand the problem. We know it is a problem. I don't have a great solution as we stand here.
Okay, well.
I'll talk to staff about your idea, and I'm sure we'll hear about it on Tuesday, too.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else have? Okay, I got a couple things. First of all, we're not going to be voting on any Skyway Bridge lighting for the summer. Thank you, Charlie. We will not be voting on any Skyway Bridge lighting for the summer, as FDOT has made a decision that the summer months would be red, white, and blue, and that they will not honor requests over the summer. We are getting some emails, if you haven't seen them, accusing us of a lot of things, but this was not our decision. It's not something we requested of FDOT. It's not something we voted on. It was a decision that we've been informed about, so just FYI. Also, I need consensus from you that are here, and I'm sure Dave and Renee will give us consensus. NACO, we need to reapply our proposed interim policy resolution for beach renourishment, so NACO can help advocate with us. I did send out an email to everybody, so you saw the language. I can read it if you want. Don't need to hear me read it. Okay, so I did send it out to you, all saw it. So we want to re-up that. We have to do it every year until we get resolution. So we want to propose it at the next NACO conference, which I'll be there to do that. And I just need, I'm seeing a head shake. Janet, are you okay with this language so we can advocate for beach renourishment? Okay, I see consensus, so thank you. I also wanted to let you all know that NAMI is having their walk at England Brothers Park at 9 a.m. on Saturday. I will be there to welcome everybody. We're hoping for a really great turnout, and NAMI has done a really great job at increasing the impact they're having on the community with training more peers, and we have found that peers are essential for success with people who suffer from mental illness and substance use. So they've been really doing some great work that a lot of people haven't known about. We're not really celebrating them probably like we should. So I'm taking this time to make a shout out to NAMI and support their walk this Saturday if somebody wants to come and join and do that walk. And also I want to thank, as always, our deputies that are here from the Sheriff's Department, Deputy Stopper and Deputy Neck. I just think they're really great. I love what they do for us in our community, and I just want to thank them again. So other than that, if we have nothing else, all right, meeting adjourned.